Let's talk F words. Family court. Now, for those of you who haven't been through family court yet in the UK or haven't had that experience yet, I wanted to make this video because I went into family court the first time under the impression that court is fair, just, will focus on evidence, truth will prevail, and that the judges will be really professional, know what's going on, and understand everything. And because I was right, and because I had evidence, and because I wasn't the abuser and I was the victim, I thought, no problem. And it was a very, very big blow to me to discover that wasn't the case. And so I want to make this video so that all of you don't have to go through that same thing. So it might be a case that you ignore this, you go to court the first time and you think, like, I was right, let me go back and watch this video. So family court is widely considered a bit of a nightmare from anyone who's had anything to do with it. The judges are overloaded. There are stigmas, biases, preconceived notions, especially against men. They just automatically assume a man is the abuser and the perpetrator and not the victim. So when you're going in for things like financial hearings, divorce proceedings, child visitation rights, etc., be prepared, especially as a guy, to face those obstacles. Now, something I found was I went in with a stack of evidence, a nice pack that I'd put together with all the evidence of things. My abuser showed up, put in a bunch of stories with no evidence. Judge hadn't read any of them, kind of looked at the size of both packs and said, oh, it looks to me like you're both as bad as each other, kind of thing. So don't expect to go into a hearing and have had all of your documents read. That's first thing. Also, don't expect for them to actually look at evidence in a lot of the hearings. In a lot of the hearings, they'll look at kind of things on face value. They'll look at stories equal to evidence. It's only when you get further down the line and you get to final hearings where they set aside proper amount of time to go through evidence, cross-examine, etc., that will really come into play. It was very frustrating for me to find this, but just so you're aware. A good tip I'd like to give you is, when you're preparing your packs for family court, prepare them under the assumption that the judge is not going to read them and they don't have time to read, 300 pages, 400 pages, whatever it is that you submit. Put together a very nice cover letter that really hones in on the key things you would like covered in that hearing. A very good example is, let's say you and your ex-partner are going in for child arrangements and there's 7 items that you need to agree, like term time visitation, holiday visitation, can you take them out of the country, etc., etc. Put that down on a table, show your view, their view, what's agreed, what's not agreed, color code it. Judge will pick that up at the beginning and go, oh, okay, well, this kind of summarizes it. They'll also look favorably on you because you've helped them make it easy for them. They might not award favorably, but that'll really help them. And it really summarizes the issues so that when you start going through those, you can then refer back to other evidence. But if they've got this massive pack, it's all over the place, they're not really going to know where to look. They don't have the time to look at it. That's wrong. Obviously, we'd like them to take the time. It's people's lives, and it's just not a good system. So be prepared for that. Be prepared mentally for that. Be prepared physically for that. It takes a lot out of you. You get stressed. It's not nice. If you can, I would suggest take the full day off work, because you don't really want to go back to work afterwards, or you don't want to work in the morning and then go there and you're already stressed out. Have someone with you if possible. I have included in my last book my top 10 tips for court. That's in The Indifference of Good Men. Grab that, have a look at those. But the main thing here is to go into family court knowing what to expect. Do not expect, you're going to walk in, you're going to go, here's the evidence. They're going to say, well, you're right. Tick, we're awarding to you. It doesn't work that way. Also, something to really be prepared for, don't expect a fast turnaround time. If they say we're going to set another hearing, don't think that hearing is going to happen the next week. You're probably looking at months, if not longer, before that hearing is going to take place. Make sure when you get the orders for the hearings, put it in your calendar. Put in your calendar what day you have to submit the documents. If you have a solicitor working for you, they'll obviously make sure the documents get in the time. But if you're doing it for yourself, make sure you've got that set in your diary so that maybe the hearing's next week Friday and the documents have to be submitted this week Wednesday. Have it in your diary so you don't miss the deadlines. You don't want to do that. Even though they're not going to read the documents probably, you want to make sure you get them in on times, that you just stick to your side. Make sure you're always doing what's right. Like I said, you might go to court thinking this is not going to be the case. Come back and watch this video again afterwards if you need to. If you want to see more stuff like this, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps it grow and get to people who need to see it. And please drop your comments about family court in the comment section, because I think from my experience and from everyone I've interviewed for any of my books experience, this is what it's like. It's tough, it's horrible, you can get through it, and it can be worth it, but you really need to put the work in and understand that it's going to be a long, long, long fight. Hope this helps someone. As always, thank you for listening.